and welcome back to Tryhard Tuesdays. I'm your inspired host, Troubadour, and I got a fun team for y'all today. In today's video, we are once again stealing a build made by Rin Shadow. I know, 2 Tryhard Tuesdays in a row. What is wrong with you, Troubadour? Listen, I haven't been on the Tryhard Tuesday game in a hot minute for the most part, been doing a lot of achievement hunting. And sometimes when I see a build that looks fun and looks strong, I want to try it out, and it just turns out that Rin Shadow has been cooking the last few weeks. All right, that's what we're doing. But today, last week we did a build that Rin Shadow had using blobfish summons that turned to be a lot stronger than I thought it would be. This one comes from a recent Rin Shadow video that I'll link in the description. And let me just say this straight out. This is Rin Shadow's idea. I did not come up with this. This is all Rin Shadow. I just tried because I thought it was fun. I want to show it to all of you. All credit goes to Rin Shadow. It's a very cool idea. But the basic idea of this is that we're bringing back the Dung Beetle. Yeah, you saw the thumbnail. You saw the title. Man, you thought this pet was over. Oh, man. Yeah, for those that don't know, Dung Beetle used to be one of the most stupid, annoying, broken things in custom packs for a while. How it works normally is, or at least now, is when it faints, it'll do a 3 damage snipe for each food it has eaten this turn to the lowest health enemy. So say it eats 3 foods, it'll deal a 9 damage snipe when it faints. Before the update, that was uncapped. So basically, if you use stuff like Farmer Cat, Farmer Dog, whatever, a bunch of corn cob stuff, and then you use an Anubis, basically, you'd have a bunch of feed triggers on your Dung Beetle, and at the start of battle, Anubis would trigger, and just the Dung Beetle faints would just absolutely delete the enemy team. So they decided to turn it back by giving it a trigger limit. And what do you know? It's actually not dead. I haven't seen it very much since the update, but using the right build that like we do here, it is still really, really strong, and you're going to get to see that here. So there's the Dung Beetle I was talking about. Going to go and feed it a little bit of food. This pack, I should say as well, this is Rin Shadow's pack as well, so shouts to Rin Shadow once again for providing me with the pack. I'll have in the description as well for anyone else who wants to try this build. There's a lot of pets in there. They're pretty cool. I wouldn't say everything here is super necessary. And the way I'm going to play this is a lot different than Rin Shadow played it. Rin Shadow, in his video, he didn't go like crazy hard. Like, he had this team set up, but then he also used some, he did some scaling here and there. Maybe not everything was like level 3 to focus on getting some stats or whatever. I'm going to go all in on the broken thing because that's how I like to play. Go big or go home. It's Tryhard Tuesdays. We're going to invest like crazy into this pet. Now, the main weakness of Dung Beetle is the fact that it targets the lowest health enemy. It's kind of cap as it gets into the late game. Since it targets the lowest health enemy, at level 3, you're only doing a max of like 27 damage to lowest health enemy. That doesn't seem that strong, even with 3 foods eaten at level 3, it's doing 9 damage for each of those. 27 damage one time ain't that bad. But then you add in an Anubis, and you get an extra trigger out of it. So 2 27 damage snipes, and with Anubis being at start of battle, that's actually not that bad. That's, if you think about it this way. Leopard. Leopard's one of the strongest pets in the game. Been very, very good for a long, long time. How Leopard works is if you scale, it will snipe at the start of battle based off of its attack stat. And if you scale it up to 50 attack at the start of battle, it will do a 25 damage snipe. At level 2, it's 2 of those. At level 3, it's 3 of those. So with a level 3 Dung Beetle and a level 1 Anubis, as long as your Dung Beetle ate foods 3 times, you're getting to do 2 27 damage snipes at the start of battle and an extra 27 damage whenever the Dung Beetle faints for real. So it's almost like you have a level 3 Leopard with a Dung Beetle. Actually, a little bit better, because you're doing 27 damage snipes instead of 25, which is the max for the Leopard. Now, there's still the usual things that can kind of mess with Anubis. Anubis, even if it's dazed, still works, by the way, which is a weird quirk of its ability. If the pet the Anubis is targeting ends up fainting before the Anubis triggers, Anubis won't trigger. If the Anubis dies, it'll still trigger. But if say the Dung Beetle died before the Anubis got a trigger, it wouldn't work. Though you can use stuff like churros to try and patch that up. Though I didn't really run into that issue at all. I didn't have opposing snipers just taking out my Dung Beetle at start of battle, because, you usually scale up pretty good if you're carrying it this long into the game, So it wasn't really something I had to worry about. But basically, if you're going to find success with this, you basically just need to find as many Anubis as you can. That is the only way to win with this. I played a few games, and the ones I didn't succeed were the ones where I couldn't find Anubis. Maybe if you were to try this pack yourself, maybe throw in like a Venus Flytrap or Bonobo just to help you find Anubis duplicates. But honestly, you can do fine with just this pack here. Me and Rinshaw both have. Check that out. We're already doing some big snipes. And with the Tiger, we get an extra snipe every time the Anubis triggers as well, or every time the Dung Beetle triggers. So basically at the start of battle, we get 2 snipes from the level 3 Dung Beetle, as well as an additional like level 1 version of the snipe. That I guess could be level 2 now, thanks to the Tiger. From the Dung Beetle, and then when it faints, it gets to do it again. So we're getting 6 snipes out of the Dung Beetle every turn. And like, even with teams like this, okay, now this team, they had 2 melons, 2 coconuts, and really high stats, and I still barely lost. That's insane. With just a Dung Beetle, that's basically my whole team is just a Dung Beetle, you know? It's kind of crazy as they able to do that well. We're going to go ahead and sell out of our hatching chick, though, because we're already almost at level 3 in Tiger. We don't need to level up our Anubis at all because the Dung Beetle is at level 3. Or since the tier 2, Anubis doesn't need leveled up at all. Also, you can run this build with things like Farmer Cat and Waffle, or maybe Farmer Dog. Oh my gosh, look at all the snipes. Look at all the snipes. They're all dead. Oh my gosh. You can run it if you want. You can also do this with 2 Anubis, and then your last pet is something to give it feed triggers like a Farmer Dog or a Farmer Cat. I prefer just to buy 2 foods and then use my 3rd food trigger with the cake every turn to max it out. And just look at the stats we're going to get here with full Anubis there. Look at that, 18, 18, 18, 18, 18. Everything is dying. I don't think I got max food feed triggers on the Dung Beetle there. I think could it be even more? Maybe it wasn't maxed out. No, yeah. I didn't max out the food triggers on the Dung Beetle, so it's going to be even higher than that. We're going to get, what is it? Now with 3 Anubis and a Tiger Dung Beetle with max feed triggers, at start of battle, we're getting 6 27 damage snipes. That's better than 2 level 3 50 attack leopards. Just look at this here. What do they even do against this, bro? It's like a Dung Beetle didn't even leave. Like, seriously, what do? You just have to kill the Dung Beetle before it just destroys your whole team? This might actually be almost as strong. I mean, it's not going to be as strong as it was before where it had uncapped damage, but 27 damage snipes is still a whole ton. I mean, check it out on this team here. Pretty balanced scaling, but 27, 27, 27. That's 162 damage at start of battle, right? That's 54 3 times. And then an additional feint when the if the Dung Beetle faints again with the level 3 Tiger, it's another 54. What is standing up to like over 200 damage in snipes? Please tell me. That's just absolutely insane. So yeah, on the last turn here, what are we going to face with the return of the Dung Beetle squad? We're going to face this team from Grounded Sap. Oh no. You already know what it is. We're playing cringe into a Grounded Sap team. He's going to comment something snarky. He's going to do a bunch of skull emojis. I don't care because I'm going to wipe his whole team, and we're going to get the dub with the level 3 Dung Beetle Anubis team. So yeah, shoutouts to Rin Shadow for being like such the innovator lately, having so many cool teams. Once again, this was Rin Shadow's idea. I just wanted to use it and showcase it for myself. Make sure to check out Rin Shadow's channel in the description below and go show him some love. But that's going to be it for me today. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do the generic stuff. I'll catch you guys in the next video, but until then, as always, stay true.